They were headed to their apartment when this happened. They decided to investigate and thought it was some girl messing with them. They were wrong.
So we've started the creepy, scary, weird and wonderful conspiracy mystery campaign off with a nice fake one. What a load of nonsense, don't know why people bother. Moving on to the next.
This video is currently the most terrifying on the dark web. It was posted anonymously, so we don't have any information except for one. The video was posted under the name Experience 666, and that immediately chills us. On the dark web, there is a place where people anonymously post terrifying experiences on humans. And I think this video is one of them. They will then manage to get in and make a terrible discovery.
Так, ребята, я что-то передумал. Привет! Откроешь окно. Открой окошко. Может, не надо лучше? Так, парни. Привет. Привет. Чё ты? Как тебя зовут? Я? Тебя? Меня зовут Никита. Так, Никита. Никит, а как у тебя дела? Да. Да? Никит, ты нас боишься?
Now this looks like acting. It could be really good acting though, but I wonder whether there's a bigger film of it somewhere. But we're going to go with fake on this one anyway and move on to the next.
Where's the new episode? Well, listen, I'm currently in a hospital. Whose baby is that? Anyways.
Yo, please help me. I don't know what the fuck is happening, man. Like, I just woke up in this hospital. I don't even remember what happened yesterday. And there's nobody here. Like, please, there's nobody here. Hello? Can somebody help me? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I'm stuck in here, man. Like, there's no way out. Somebody please help. Like, what the fuck? Hello? Is there anybody here? Oh my god. What's happening? This can't be real, right? This can't be real. What is this? And see, I can't get out. This is the only exit.
This is just a mixture of some fake videos and then a clip added at the end when they're clearly having a bit of a windstorm outside and it's messing with the roof panels. Fake as...
Never wake up a sleepwalker.
Do you want me to wake him up?
No, don't ever.
This girl was freaking out when her sister got out of bed and started sleepwalking.
Stop staring at me like that. Alexis! Mom!
Well, these are definitely real. They would freak me the fuck out. I wouldn't be able to deal with that. Somebody just started staring at me while they were asleep. I wouldn't know what to do. I have to throw some water on them, slap them around the face, ignore them. No idea, but this is definitely 100% real.
What you see?
Angels.
And where are they at?
Ceiling.
I don't see anything, Mom. I don't see anything. You see him? Are they making you happy?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, that's good. How many? Four?
I've seen this video before, but it was without the effects on it, the creepy sound and the stupid video effects, and it's actually really beautiful, and I honestly hope to God that I see angels like that when I die. Definitely real. Beautiful. Yeah, I get like that sometimes. I'm not sure how a baby hitting a Bible is scary, but never mind.
I think she's lagging in real life. What is happening? What? What?
We've all had that happen. That's just strands of hair stuck on the rough bricks. That's all that is. Moving on. This is just workers having a laugh as they do, making a stupid TikTok video, basically. Fun times. As if you would run away and not help. There's somebody just out a shot behind the wall next to the door frame, and they're just lifting them up, and it's just another fake video. Happy days.
Somebody just took my hair. I'm not joking, somebody just took my hair. What do you mean somebody fucking took my hair? I don't know. Somebody fucking did.
So even though this is really simple, it's actually pretty clever because the acting is really, really good. I had to watch this quite a few times, but what it is there's some cotton or thin fishing line wrapped underneath their hair, and there's someone out of shot holding both ends of that and then just pulling up very quickly with it, and it's giving that flick of the hair. Now, the only reason why you definitely know it's fake straight off the bat is because why would there be a camera pointing at a young girl's bed? It doesn't make any sense. And you get a lot of these videos that you always have to ask the question, why is there a camera there? Both of these girls are on their mobile phone, so it's not their mobile phone sat up there recording, and why would it be? Why would they be recording that anyway? So either someone's a creep and they've got a camera pointing at a young girl's bed, or it's fake, which I'm pretty certain it is. Well, I'm 100% certain it is. So on to the next. Well, that's one way to work out, isn't it?
Cam captures lady vanishing out of nowhere.
Hey, how's it going?
I was speeding, wasn't I?
Yeah, you completely blew past that stop sign in front of me.
I'm so sorry. I literally didn't even see it.
All right. No
this
worries.
is my first time being pulled over.
Alright, can I see your driver's license registration, please?
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car, so...
Where are you headed to where you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's a birthday party.
Got it.
Not mine, but...
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
No, of course not.
Alright. Sit tight, sir. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your registration is...
Where did she go?
Sarah? What the heck? Sarah? 3201 to dispatch.
This one is so good. It's been edited amazingly, if that's how they've done it. I've gone backwards and forwards, frame by frame, and tried to see if I could see differences in the shadows or reflections in the car or anything, and I cannot figure it out. The only thing I can think of is maybe there's something in the window, as in just that section of the window has been cut out in editing and replaced with her and then without her. That's the only thing I can think of. Nothing shows up on the editing, so it's amazing. Clearly people don't just vanish like that, but it has been done really, really, really well. I'm well impressed. I wish my missus was that flexible.
Salta pequeño, salta pequeño. Vamos, vamos para allá. Te gusta caminar arriba de los troncos, ¿verdad? Bueno.
Come here a minute. It's a puppy! Anybody from the UK should remember that.
Oh, those beavers, how they hypnotize. Yeah, where'd you get those eyes?
As awful as that CGI looked, it still made me jump. Never mind.
This is currently the most terrifying video on the dark web. It was published anonymously, so we don't have any more information. But the ending will call everything into question.
The only thing that's going to need to be called into question is my sanity at the end of watching all of these. They are horrendous. It's just video editing, and the one in the river is just the girl's knees popping up. I don't know what to say other than that. What a load of shite.
Just recently, Michael Jackson's son had a party. People are saying Michael Jackson was actually there in disguise, bro. No, look at this, look at this, look at this. Nah. But it's so obvious. This shit is obvious. Look, look. I'm gonna show you the video. So you can see here. See, he has an umbrella, always wearing sunglasses, always covering his skin. Now his son and I think his manager, they had a big like yacht party. Okay. Now there's somebody on the boat that looks very suspicious. Oh, because it's the only person that's wearing full covered, and look at his face and look at the choice of attire. Michael Jackson, he was known for being allergic to the sun because of his skin. He's always wearing like long sleeves or stuff to cover himself. People are saying this is Michael Jackson after another plastic surgery to change his identity. Oh, hell no. And he's hiding and he's still chilling with his son in public.
I'm going to murder this name now, but that was Dr. Alimurad Fashtian. And what's weirder is that was actually Michael Jackson's doctor, so I don't know what is going on there, but that's where the conspiracy is. Why is he on Prince Jackson's boat? That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. It's one of them.
We look at their rockets. This is how they claim they get into outer space, is these rockets. Their rockets never go straight up. Every single rocket launch from a government space agency, you'll notice, follows a parabolic curve. It goes up, it reaches a peak, but what they do is as the rocket starts coming back down, they make sure that it goes down over the ocean, out of the way of any curious observers. Anyone can see it coming back down to Earth, asks, hey, how come the rocket's not going up anymore? Well, it's going around the curvature of the Earth, is what they tell us. So every single rocket, the reason that it follows a parabolic curve, they say, is because it's going around the curvature of the Earth. The real reason is they can't get up any higher than that.
It's almost as if they need to get to a certain height and then go around the globe. It needs to get out of the atmosphere and then orbit the Earth using the gravity. That's why you see it going up and then slowly curving, because it's curving around the globe. That's why you see this curve. It's curving around the globe. That proves the globe is round. The reason why they fire them over the ocean is just in case they do come down. What's going to happen if they fire them over a city? No one's going to do that. Of course they fire them over an ocean, or sometimes over a desert, but mainly over an ocean, because if anything goes wrong, it plummets into the ocean instead of killing tens of thousands of fucking people. What an idiot. And he pretty much answered his own question at the end, saying, well, they only need to go up to a certain height. Well, yeah, because that's where they need to go. They don't need to go any higher. And he makes some comment about people seeing them coming down. No one sees them coming down. They go up. The only ones we see coming down are the ones that fail, and Elon Musk's new ones now, where, you know, the bottom comes back down, and the Blue Origin ones. I mean, I don't know how much more stupid people can be. I don't know how people think the Earth is still flat. This is ridiculous. It's honestly, I want to blow my brains out. It's so insane. Elon Musk fires tons of rockets up there. I can stand outside in my garden and watch the satellites that have just been released. I can watch them going over really close to each other. What are they? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I know the launch is going to happen, and I know what these things are, and I see them later on, they've spaced out, and then they've spaced out some more. These people are insane. Please don't believe the Earth is flat, because that is fucking stupid. Please. Oh my God. Rant over.
So there's a conspiracy going around that Jay-Z did a blood ritual at the Grammys, and that's not wine in his cup, that's actually blood. And it sounded cats until I seen this scene right here. Officer of the blood. She said, no, not tonight, Dad. There's no way you don't get through. Alright.
Do you know what? With all the satanic rituals that are going on now in Hollywood and in music videos and at concerts and things like that, this is more believable than the flat Earth. I mean, he could be. He could be drinking blood. That wine in the first photo looks very thick. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Maybe. The Earth's definitely not flat, though.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means? Nobody does.
Do you agree with what he is saying? Could there be a darker side to these contracts that these artists sign, or is Dave Chappelle making it up? TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central. I signed a contract. But I signed the contract the way that a 28-year-old expectant father that was broke signs a contract. I was desperate, I needed a way out, and it wasn't good money, and it wasn't good circumstances, but what else am I gonna do, I said. And all these white people sitting at that table told me, trust us, Dave, it's a good contract. And I looked around the table, and they all seemed to agree it was a good contract. But what if it was like that game of 3-card Monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it?
No, I think Dave Chappelle talks a lot of sense. He's not lying when he talks about this at all. I've heard stories of him getting done out of 450 million because he broke the earning cap or something like that, so they said they had to keep it all. It's just utterly corrupt, and probably satanic, especially with the blood sacrifice worship, sipping out of wine glasses thing going on. Whatever though, on to the next.
The Titanic theory. The theory says that the Titanic never hit an iceberg. The owner of the Titanic, J.P. Morgan, had 2 ships, the Olympic and the Titanic. And he knew that the Olympic was old and rusty, so he switched the names and the color of the 2 ships. The theory argues that he wanted to sink the ship because he'd make a lot of money of it. But the theory doesn't stop there. Because do you know who was in the ship? All of J.P. Morgan's business competitors, and none of them survived the trip. But Morgan himself canceled the voyage a few minutes before the journey began.
Yeah, I could definitely believe this is true. Why not? Seems like a bit of a old school boss move to do or something. But, you know, it's a little bit out there, but I could see someone doing it if they wanted to wipe out their competitors and they've got endless amounts of money anyway. Why not? Why not? The world is fact. It's fact. It's fact.
There's 28-day moon cycles, and there's 13 per year. So when you think of your calendar, and you have 12 months, where is the missing month? Because you have 13 moon cycles per year, So where is the missing month? It's something we don't think about. You have 13 28-day moon cycles, but you only have 12 months in a year. Where is the off month? And this is why when I say connecting to the moon energy, you can see that the same cycle happens every single time. So where is that month that we're missing? And then you start to say, well, what season are we actually in then? Because if we're always missing basically a month all the time, then that would mean our timeline is very incorrect, or our calendar is very incorrect as well. You know, and as somebody just said, we switched to the Gregorian calendar and we messed up all our cycles. Yes, we did. And that's the thing. We don't even know what day or year we are in. This is where it gets crazy. You know, someone could say, well, today's 2023. According to who? Who told you we're in 2023? And then, what month are we actually in? And if you create this confusion, you can then control the people because they start to believe, well, I'm in 2023. Well, what happens if you were in 2023? Like 1023? Then what? You'd really start thinking things different. Because, you know, if you start thinking about the calendar and now everything's thrown off, you'd start there and go, oh my gosh, wait a minute, this is what year we're in? Wait, what month are we in? And then we start going, oh, well, what season am I in? And then who created that up too? Who made up that number? You know, that's the other part. You sit there and go, maybe, what happens if we're in like 5046? You know? And then you sit there and you think you're still driving a car with 20 miles to the gallon in 5046.
Okay, this is another uneducated lunatic that's allowed to post videos on the internet for all of the other morons to follow. Yes, 28 times 13 is 364. We do get 13 moon cycles in a year. But what has that got to do with anything? That has absolutely nothing to do with seasons. We don't base our seasons on the moon. We base our seasons on the sun. And we quite clearly don't lose track of the seasons because the weather changes and we grow vegetables and we're out in the sun. We're not missing seasons out. We're totally aware of which season we're in all the time, like by the weather. I don't get what he's trying to say. And the thing about the year, we do know what year it is if you didn't go by our current day calendar, because we've got a Hebrew calendar and we know it's 5,784. That's what the Hebrew calendar is. So he needs to do his research before he starts telling people a load of shit. Oh my God, I feel like running to the farmer and seeing if he'll blow my brains out. Honestly, maybe I'll get rabies. Maybe I'll get rabies. Who knows? Who knows? On to the next.
Wait until the end.
Happening right now across the globe. As of about 3 minutes ago, 7:15 Eastern Time, 99% of the entire world's population is facing the sun. That means we're all experiencing some degree of sunlight at the exact same time, either full daylight or, for a lot of other folks, twilight. If you look at the map right there, just the Pacific Islands and Australia, the Australian region, are fully in the dark. 99% of the world.
And California. Poor California.
Yes.
You know what, though? What a cool phenomenon.
One thing to bring us all together, literally to bring all of us together, because at this moment, I'm talking right now, 7:15, 99% of the population of the Earth is in some sort of daylight or sunlight. Now, this is due to the fact that the Earth has a tilt to it, 23.5 degrees. So it's the way it's rotating around the sun and the way it's orbiting in general. But right now, at this time in the calendar year, this doesn't happen every day. This only happens today, and it only happens right now. 7.68 billion people are in daylight or in twilight. The only spots that are not in daylight right now are Australia, Papua New Guinea, and New Zealand. Outside of that, the rest of the world is in daylight. Do you like that?
The video poster is trying to make with this is that the Earth is flat, but unfortunately it proves that the Earth's not flat, because it would mean that this would have to occur all year round, whereas it doesn't. It only occurs at times when the Earth is in a specific position to the sun because of the axis, because of the tilt on the axis. So the point that they're trying to prove has actually disproved them. An example that the news is trying to make, because, you know, most of the population of the world lives on a certain landmass, and that landmass is in a certain position, and blah, 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 blah. And it goes to show that a lot of the Earth as well is made up of water. So, yeah.
I'm at the highest point in BC, and I have the selfie stick that reaches up into the atmosphere. This is my final test to show you, just in fact, that the Earth is truly round. No more jokes now, guys. What's it like up there? The air is so thin. Way out there.
Haha, what a troll. On to the next.
The world is definitely not ready to hear this. But there is no real picture of the Earth.
What do you mean?
Every picture that's been released that's on Google and or released from NASA is a 3D render. There's only 2 pictures the Earth claims to have in its vault. Let me show you them right now.
You're telling me that my iPhone 3G wallpaper isn't real?
That's the blue marble. The blue marble, as known from popular media and your iPhone 3, this claims to be an actual photo of the Earth from space.
It's claiming that?
You want me to show you the other one? The other one's hilarious. This is the real one, apparently.
What?
It's called the pale blue dot.
Who took that?
I've taken better pictures whenever my phone is in my pocket accidentally, bro. That's what this looks like.
Why do all these pictures look so fake?
If you go through Google, there's not a single one that looks even remotely real.
Don't we have pictures of other planets?
I don't think you're ready for that conversation, bro.
Saturn picture. Okay, that is deep.
I thought I'd just explain this image so it doesn't seem as ridiculous as what they're saying it is. It's taken from the Voyager 1 space probe. This was launched in 1977. So the Earth's size is seen as 1 pixel on that camera. And by the time it got there, it was 3.7 billion miles away from the Earth, which is 6 billion kilometers, which is an insane distance. Insane. And it never got there until 1990. Now, the little line you can see in the other picture to the right, but the little line you can see is the rings of Saturn. So it's kind of taken through one of the rings. It's an amazing photograph, incredible. And it's actually part of a series called The Family Portrait. And it was where Voyager was taking pictures of the whole solar system as it went through. I just thought I'd clarify that, so it's not that they could take a better picture with an iPhone in their pocket. This is taken from 6 billion kilometres away from the Earth. It'd be nice if they'd explain that anyway. But being as they said there's no photographs, proper photographs of the Earth, well that is a proper photograph of the Earth, and there are photographs of the Earth, but I'm not going to go through them all. So I'll just add on a little video where it's kind of a piss take out of the space station, but it's a video of the Earth as the space station's going around. It's an amazing bit of video, and I just thought it'd be worth adding.
Somebody just got fired at NASA for forgetting to edit the sound out.
911, what's your emergency? Yeah, listen. We fucked up.
And it's mostly just a big ball of lava. That's Earth. But 10,000 feet is not a big deal.
Have you given any consideration whatsoever to the flat Earth movement?
Haha. I think that's a troll situation.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not. You would like to think that because you're a super genius. But I, as a normal person, I know there's people way dumber than me. And they really, really believe. They watch YouTube videos which go on uninterrupted and spew out a bunch of fucking fake facts very eloquently and articulately. And they really believe. These people really believe.
I mean, if it works for them, sure. Fine.
Weird though, right?
This is taken with the Flat Earther's favourite camera, the P900, and when the guy zooms in, you can see a ship that is covered by the horizon, i.e. it's over the horizon, so there's much more of it missing than should be if the Earth was flat. The other thing you'll notice is the edge of the water, i.e. it's going over a curve. Now if the Earth was flat, you wouldn't see that edge, it would just carry on going. It would constantly keep going until it kind of went out of eyesight or your ability of your eye, that water would definitely carry on going straight up. You would just see it, and you'd see every ship dotted about and everything, but you don't see that. You see the curve of the earth. I mean, it's so abundantly obvious that that is what's going on. Again, the stupidity of people believing that the earth is flat and ignoring all of this kind of evidence is crazy. I think we need to get a separate little island and put these people on this island and let them progress as a society on their own, instead of trying to dumb down the people around them that are in possession of more than, 60 IQ or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I really don't. It's just baffling.
Do you remember Cruella de Vil's coat with Dalmatian spots? Apparently it never had spots. Pikachu with a black tail. People say he's never had a black tail. The bucket list phrase wasn't around until the movie came out in 2007. Air Jordan Jumpman now has pants. Mississippi no longer the longest river in the United States. The Berenstain Bears spelled with a U-R-A.
This creeps me out, man. I don't even like to be in this room anymore. I sleep in here. Look at that. That shit is changing. Right?
I actually do remember Cruella de Vil with a spotted coat, and I do remember Pikachu with a black tip on his tail, but I mean, I could be wrong, but that is mental. The Air Jordan logo has always had trousers, though. I mean, my brother had a tracksuit from America when we were much younger, and that definitely had trousers on it. The thing is, people remember the iconic photo of him doing it when he had shorts on, and there's a colour photo of that as well. But that's what you remember, and you expect that to be on the logo because it's the same pose. But on the logo, they originally did it off of the picture with him with the trousers on. As are the other ones. I'm not from America, so I don't know the thing about the Berenstain Bears or the river, so I'm not entirely sure, but rivers do change.
They finally cracked the firmament.
This is not a waterfall. This is not coming from a mountain or a cliff. This is actually coming from our sky. The dome that's over the earth has finally been cracked. This is not a waterfall.
This is not a waterfall, this is not a waterfall, and then goes and films a tourist location with a waterfall. What a moron. Oh my goodness. On to the next. Professional singers make all sorts of shapes with their hands when they're singing. They're kind of in the zone, really. But I do admit it does look like the 666 symbol being thrown out, and as we know, that industry is really satanic at the moment. So it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think that's what we're seeing here anyway.
I don't know if you saw this Mandela effect, the Fergie, the boom, boom, pow. Have you heard that one?
Oh, yeah, there's a Mandela effect?
There's a Mandela effect. Okay, so we're gonna do a little game where it's like, finish the lyrics.
Okay, bet.
So I'm gonna play it. Okay, ready? I got that boom, boom, boom. You're so 2008. You're so 2000 and late. Wrong. The whole time, it's not 2008. I'm so 2000 and late.
No. Chill.
Yeah, you know what she says?
Chill. What is it?
She says, I'm so 3008. You're so 2000 and late.
No.
Listen.
No, that sounds wrong. Nah, 3008 sounds wrong.
No, 2008 sounds wrong, bro.
That doesn't sound right.
That's why when I heard it, I was like, there's no way.
When did this song come out? Because it had to have been before 2008, no?
2009.
It doesn't make sense now. It doesn't make sense now.
Oh, it doesn't make sense. That makes sense. Yo, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
But it makes sense because it's 3000.
She wouldn't reference a past year.
So this was released in 2009, and I think what's happened is it was written in 2008, but it had a late release. So 2008 would have made sense originally, but then they've had to change it to 3008 because in 2009 it wouldn't have made any sense whatsoever. That's what's happened.
I mean, to be totally frank, almost every conspiracy theory that people had about Twitter turned out to be true. So, like, is there a conspiracy theory about Twitter that didn't turn out to be true? So far, they've all turned out to be true, and if not, more true than people thought.
This is why Elon Musk originally took it over. I mean, come on, people. You know, he knew it was all a bit corrupt, so that's why he bought it. Now, in terms of that meaning that all conspiracy theories are true, obviously that's not true. That in itself would be a conspiracy theory, that all conspiracy theories are true. There are some crazy ones out there, as we've seen. But anyway, let's move on.
Someone has clearly been editing Lilo and Stitch, because this is the version of Lilo and Stitch I have where she clearly hides in a dryer. She is not in a cabinet with a pizza box on it. So I think someone's done some clever editing.
No one's done any crazy editing here. They've changed it to stop little children getting the idea of crawling into a washing machine or a dryer. That would be idiotic to do that. So that's all they've done there.
Crazy Mandela effects that I can guarantee you have not seen before. These will genuinely blow your mind and make you question everything. Now, unless you want to be absolutely terrified out of your mind, then just keep on scrolling. Honestly, this will keep you up all goddamn night. First up, Disney. Probably everyone remembers this. Yeah, Tinkerbell dotting the I in the intros. I remember this vividly, like clearly remember this happened. Well, it didn't. And it never did. What? A lot of people swear that they remember a robber emoji, and a hiker emoji which looks similar to this one right here. Now, especially the robber one, I remember that extremely clearly. Like, I used that, I swear. But it never existed. Apple didn't remove it or anything, it just never existed. Now, your parents will no doubtably remember the book and everything, the Bernstein Bears. It was extremely famous. Everybody knows it was called the Bernstein Bears. But it's always been called the Bernstein Bears.
Again, I do remember Tinkerbell dotting the I, and I do remember the rubber emoji on your iPhone, so I'm not sure what's happened there. If they haven't updated it and got rid of it, I mean, it makes more sense that they did update it and got rid of it. As for the Bernstein Bear thing, if anybody's got any ideas of that in the comments, because I don't know anything about that because I'm from the UK, but if anybody's got any actual proof, like they've got a book or their parents have got a book or something like that, I'd be really interested to know.
I've read every fucking theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000 stones in it. Some of them are the weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things point, that pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like, if you fucked up like a quarter inch there, a half inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west. And they're not really sure how old it is. They think it's, they date it to 2,500 BC. But that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time. You're dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportion.
First of all, unlike today, there wasn't really anything in the way of distractions. We sit down and we watch television, we play on computer games, we go and watch sports, we do stuff like that. They didn't really have that then. Their main goal was to create things of worship and things that would please the pharaoh and all that kind of stuff. So when you had 1.5 million people concentrating on one single end goal at a time, it makes sense that it was really possible. To add to that, they did actually have slaves, not as many as what people think, but they had slaves from Europe, places like Poland, and brought them over to work as well. I've even seen a documentary that explains in a very easy way how they could have built the pyramids. It's just, when you've got that kind of manpower, something like that is not difficult. So it wasn't aliens, it wasn't built by a civilization before them, it's just, it was built by them. It's that simple. Come on.
You are being lied to because no one has ever been in space. There is a theory that suggests we have never explored space due to a transparent barrier surrounding our world. Beyond this barrier, there is no open space or vacuum, but rather water. It may all sound crazy, but in 1962, the US government detonated a few nuclear bombs in the sky, allegedly to test the atmosphere's reaction to their explosion, so they want us to believe. However, some claim that they were actually attempting to see if they could break through this invisible barrier. Ironically, this program was called Operation Fishbowl. This theory is fueled by the observation that many have noticed stars appear to twinkle or shimmer through a liquid-like substance when viewed with the naked eye or through a camera. Rocket enthusiasts have also noted that the rockets we have launched seem to encounter an invisible ceiling, creating an effect similar to what one would observe in water.
Yes, the government did launch nukes into space just to see what happened, really, and it was a stupid thing to do, and they haven't done it since. But I can guarantee you there are no rocket enthusiasts out there that claim that there's a ceiling that the rockets keep hitting. This is just coming from people that pretend they know what they're talking about and sprout absolute nonsense in the hope that people believe their stupid, ridiculous theories. So let's grow up and move on.
Okay, so October 4th, they're going to send out a test message to everybody's phone. Not a text message, a test message. And it will last maybe 30 minutes. Here is what you do if you don't want your phone to go off for 30 fucking minutes. Here's a test. I am using my daughter's phone to call my phone. Let's see what happens. Oh, it comes through. Okay. Let's wrap this bitch in tinfoil and see what the fuck happens. It's still on. I'm just turning my screen off. And then just one more, just for good luck. Y'all notice, I did not turn the volume down and I did not turn the vibrate off. Let's try again. Ain't doing shit.
7, 6, 5.
Straight to voicemail.
1, 2, 9.
So, if y'all don't want to listen to the bullshit for 30 minutes, that's what the fuck you do. Done.
This is just an example of a Faraday cage which will block any kind of electromagnetic radiation, really. That's why people wear tinfoil hats sometimes. I might have to get one myself in the hope that some of these videos don't affect me too much, because this is getting bad. But yes, this definitely works.
I got a conspiracy theory and I want y'all to please listen along to this. When you become croaked the fuck over and your body is down there at the morgue, do the Y incision and they take all the insides out and they drain your bodily fluid. I assume, just like at the hospital, they would dispose of that and call it like toxic waste. Slap a red stamp on that motherfucker. And people pretend to come in there and get it to take it to an unknown location, right? But what if that unknown location is really a very well-known location? The water. Because do they got like a big ass tank for everybody who passed away bodily fluids? Roll with me, because if they put that into the regular drinking water, whether you're going to get it through the faucet, like the tap, or through the bottled water, is that why they got so many different levels to water, like purified and this percentage for alkaline? Like, what if it's unavoidable? They put it in all the damn water, like some aqua cremation type shit.
Well, part of me is definitely wishing I never watched this video, because after doing a quick Google search, it turns out that this isn't a conspiracy theory at all. This is genuinely real. It goes into the municipal water supply or water system, and then it gets treated and fed back to us. What the fuck is going on? I am literally drinking other people. That is horrible.
There's another Mandela effect.
Okay.
Sugar, eating a lot of sugar. If you eat a lot of sugar, you're gonna get what?
Diabetes?
No, you're gonna get hyper, right?
Oh,
you're gonna get diabetes.
Yeah.
But the common thing is like, oh, if I eat a lot of sugar, I'm gonna get hyper. I'm gonna get a sugar rush.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a sugar rush, right? There's no such thing in science as a sugar rush in the human body. So sugar, right? It does not make you hyper, and it does not keep you up at night. What? But that's like the common preconcept, or that's what we all learn. That's what we all know. Like, if you eat sugar, you'll be up at night. If you eat sugar, you'll be hyper, right? Well, take this in. Table sugar has a glycemic index of 60, right? So that means it turns to straight sugar and gives you energy faster, right?
Yeah.
But white bread has a glycemic index of 100. But we never heard of, oh, if you eat bread, you're gonna get hyper. But bread would do it way faster than sugar would. So not only does this glycemic index exist, the whole idea of making you hyper and giving you energy spikes is not true.
So it turns out the sugar rush is actually a myth, but the sugar down and the crash isn't a myth. You do crash. I mean, I crash if I eat lots of sugar. But I know that the blue flavouring or the blue dye or whatever they use for the blue sweets does make children run around like they're possessed and batshit crazy. That is a fact. So whatever is in that is doing something. But yeah, the sugar rush is a myth.
This African is doing amazing things. He invented an electric car that can run without a battery and without recharging, a television set that works perfectly without power, and a helicopter that flies without fuel. Maxwell Chikumbutso, a Zimbabwean, has shown that his genius can weaken the economies of the superpowers to the benefit of Africa. He has 3 assassination attempts to his credit. He invented a technology to turn radio frequencies into electricity. He applied for a patent for his work but was repeatedly denied. The reason given is that he deviated from the laws of physics. Subscribe.
So this video's got some things wrong. The helicopter didn't fly without fuel. It could fly using many different types of fuel, but that in itself is total bullshit. This guy is a well-known scammer. He's done it before and he's continuing to do it, and people fall for it. As for the patents being disallowed or rejected because they deviated from the laws of physics, that is total crap. That's not why a patent gets rejected. A patent gets rejected because it doesn't work. It's that simple. They have some of the most intelligent people working at the patent office. To give you some example, Einstein had a job at the patent office. That's the kind of level of employees that they have. So they kind of know what they're doing, and they know when they see a scam or a con artist. They know 100%. So that being said, let's move on.
The story of Stanley Meyer and his invention of the water-powered car shows us truly how controlled we are. The car literally only needs water to run. He estimated that 22 gallons of water would be needed to go from LA to New York. That is insane. Tap water, rainwater, and even ocean water would work to power this car. He then created a device that could turn any engine into a water fuel system. What's absolutely mind-blowing is the fact that the energy output of this device was higher than the input. Soon after gaining popularity, he started facing lawsuits that claimed that his inventions were actually fraudulent and illegitimate. $1 billion was offered by an unknown Saudi Arabian to sell his patent, but he declined. So in 1998, he met up with potential investors at a Cracker Barrel. His brother said he took a sip of cranberry juice, grabbed his neck, and then ran outside. He then dropped to his knees and vomited violently, saying, "They poisoned me."
Local inventor has discovered a way, hear this, to use water to run your car.
It's a major breakthrough that will no doubt make motorists happy. And as Ralph Robinson explains, the Pentagon is also showing lots of interest in this project.
Water has always been considered a precious commodity, but Stan Meyer's invention may make it even more valuable. He has developed what's called a water fuel cell. It has taken the place of his old gas tank. The water fuel cell breaks down water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen. The hydrogen is used to run his dune buggy.
I don't care if you use rainwater, well water, city water, ocean water. If you don't have any fresh water, go ahead and use snow. If you don't have any snow available to you, then use salt water because there's no adverse effect to the fuel cell.
Meyer started working on this project 4 years ago. He's not a scientist. He isn't even a chemist. In fact, he never graduated from college. Myers was determined, he says, to design something to protect this country from oil embargoes.
And we have calculated that if we take the dune buggy from Los Angeles to New York, we would roughly use 22 gallons of water.
The Pentagon flew a lieutenant colonel in last week to look at Meyer's invention. There's talk of possibly using it in the Star Wars defense program and to run Army tanks. Myers is currently perfecting a water fuel cell for cars. It will cost about $1,500. He says it won't need any maintenance, and you won't have to replace it. It'll be at least 2 years before the fuel system goes into mass production. The day it happens will be one the fuel industry hates, but it'll put a smile on the face of those who've had to say at one time or another, fill her up. I'm Ralph Robbins.
As you can see, many patents have already been received, and many more are forthcoming.
A car that runs on water instead of gasoline. Can it be true? Well, inventor Stanley Meyer made an announcement today in Colorado Springs. He says he's come up with a device that will hook up to any engine and allow it to run on good old H2O. News 13's Kurt Goff tonight on the possible impact of the water fuel cell.
Stanley Meyer says the answer to dependence on foreign oil lies all around us, in seawater, tap water, and rainwater. Any kind of H2O, he says, can power just about every type of engine. How? With the water fuel cell. It fits in the palm of his hand, but it could revolutionize the world.
You're talking about a pollution-free, totally new source of energy, the voltage disassociation of water.
The fuel cell converts water into a gas, hydrogen oxygen, which is released in the form of thermo-explosive energy.
So the water fuel injector simply replaces the spark plug. We hook it to a hydrogen computer system which regulates and meters the flow going into the injector. It processes the water in such a way to release its thermal explosive energy.
My car runs on water. Runs a little rough though.
This is definitely a thing. This definitely works. I'm not sure of all the science to do with it, but like I say, it does work. The guy at the end though, that car sounded rough as fuck. So I don't know how good it is. We didn't see it moving, did we? We just heard it making a noise.
You developed a car that ran on water.
Hey, so I decided to make a car that runs on tap water. Only this car was one of the hardest things I've designed to this date, including anything made at SpaceX. My brilliant engineers and I worked days and nights to build the prototype. When we tested the prototype, the car ran perfectly fine, and it would drive 200 miles with 30 liters of just tap water.
So when do you think it will be available for the public?
I don't think it will ever be available for the public because the government is not allowing us to continue the research. Confiscated all the prototypes. I suspect it will eventually be available for the public when the world runs out of oil. Only then will water cost more than gold. But it was interesting to design.
Not as an expert, but as a concerned citizen.
One of the 400,000 people who marched in the streets of New York on Sunday.
And the billions of others around the world who want to solve our climate crisis.
As an actor, I pretend for a living. I play fictitious characters, often solving fictitious problems.
I believe that mankind has looked at climate change in that same way, as if it were a fiction.
As if pretending that climate change wasn't real would somehow make it go away. But I think we all know better than that now.
So the last two videos are just an example of some AI. The first one, where it talks about Elon Musk making a car that runs on water, is really poor AI, really. It's not very good at all, is it? Not very good. But the next one with Leonardo DiCaprio is scary. I mean, that really puts the shivers down your spine, that one, because it means they can do anything with anyone, really. Once they've got the face sorted, which they pretty much have, and they get the voice sorted, you're going to be believing anything you see. So be careful, people. So on that note, that's me. That's the end of my first video. If you kind of enjoyed what you've seen, why not subscribe? Drop a little like button, hit me up in the chat, I'll respond. I've got 0 subscribers at the moment, so might as well talk to me. Anyway, I'm going to go and have a shit in a field, eat a rabbit, go and fuck up some hens, piss a farmer off. I'll see you in a bit.